Yes, good evening, our viewers. It's Dr. Kasango and Derrick. Once again, thank you for watching our videos. And today we are bringing something that we always talk about. We always talk about water and water. Sometimes we say water is life, so we need to explore that. And our question today is, what happens if you don't drink enough water? That's what we are going to talk about. What happens if you don't drink enough water? I want to show you how important water is in our body. You realize that inadequate hydration, even if you don't realize the shortfall, is linked to lousy moods, higher disease risk, and shorter life. You need to find out how much water you need and how to know if you are getting enough. The fact is that we are about 55 to 60% water in our bodies. You need a lot of it every day to keep your body and mind functioning properly. You find that a mere 3 days without water, you are almost gone. In the new research, adds to a steady stream of evidence for the damage done to the mind, that's our brain, and the body on a daily basis and over time. By shortfalls, you might not even notice each day. A sufficient supply of water allows food to properly digest in our bodies. 2, it cleans our brain. You understand? Also, our blood toxins are cleaned away by water. Water also regulates our blood pressure. It also regulates our body temperature. And similarly, water lubricates our joints. Naturally, you are constantly losing water through peeing, sweating, and if you don't consistently replace it, water shortage can develop quickly. And mild dehydration through use and mild dehydration, though many may not consciously be aware of it. And when you get dehydrated, this affects you in one way or the other. And these are some of the effects of being dehydrated. Your moods will worsen, You will have a blunt ability to think clearly. It will hamper with your sleep. It will cut into your productivity and physical performance. There will be a rise in the risk of heart attack and depression because of little volume of water in your body, and even cause you to eat too much. In one of the studies that was made, revealed that over time, people who don't drink enough water on a regular basis tend to age more quickly and develop chronic illnesses ranging from the heart disease, diabetes to dementia, and even die younger. So you can imagine the importance of water. There are some findings that were published in a journal of e-biomedicine was based on health status of 11,255 adults, and what they did, they periodically measured the levels of sodium in blood, and excess sodium indicated lack of fluid intake compared to those with lower sodium in blood. When I talk of sodium, I'm meaning salt. So people with higher but still normal levels in middle age were over the next 25 years. But in the results they found out that 21% were more likely to die prematurely, and 39% more likely to develop chronic illnesses, whereas 50% were more likely to be biologically older than their chronological age. That study does not prove the cause and the effect. The researchers said, but it suggests a link between hydration, aging, and health outcomes. One that needs further research to be confirmed or refuted. The results suggest that proper hydration may slow down aging and prolong a disease-free life. But our question is, how much water you really need? Surprisingly, there are no formal governmental guidelines for water intake, and how much you need depends on your weight and how active you are, and a range of other factors. You might have heard of the rule of 8x8, whereby you have to drink 8 glasses of water daily. it is a blank, and nobody even know for sure where this idea came from. Similarly, the drink before you are thirsty advice has no firm basis in science, unless you are outside on a hot day or exercising vigorously or both, in which case you should absolutely stay ahead of the need. Various independent health organizations do offer consensus on daily water consumption as 11.4 cups for the average woman and 15.6 cups for the average man. That is their recommendation. And most of us are not exactly average of the course. So your mileage may vary, so we don't even really agree on that, because some people are really not average. Regardless, and this is super important, the guidelines are based on the total fluid intake, not just straight water. The average adult is thought to be about 20% of their recommended water intake through food, while the rest comes from regular water as well as other fluids like soup, non-alcoholic beverages, and even coffee counts. However, caffeine doesn't dehydrate you, despite of the myth. Produce figures insignificantly, offering the double bonus of good nutrition. Consider these fruits and vegetables that consists at least 95% water. Juice has a lot of water too, but don't be fooled. Most juices at supermarkets are not fit for health human consumption, being devoid of fruits and made instead from sugars, or they contain a splash of real juice and gobs of added sugars. Even a pure fruits juice are generally poor nutrition choices, since most of the nutrients and fibers have been squeezed out of the fruits compared to the actual fruit. Juice is basically bad for adults and terrible for kids, but that is but that is the science. Yeah, that is science. You find that plain water, on the other hand, is quite good for you and 100% calorie free. So that's why we encourage our people to drink enough water than taking juice, because most of that juice we buy in supermarket, it's more of sugars. It's more of sugars. These are some of the signs that I can share with you, which will tell you that you are not getting enough water. Given all the variables and fans' advice, it is important to recognize when you are thirsty. Your brain is actually programmed to tell you, based on signals to your brain, that your blood salty, that your blood is salty. So, if you feel thirsty, drink up. However, not everyone has the same thirsty sensation threshold or triggers. So, this method is not a foolproof. So you don't want to fall behind. Older people, you find that especially prone to dehydration because they are not taking enough fluids. When urine turns very yellow or dark, dehydration has already set in. Other symptoms can be fatigue. When you're there but you are fatigued, you're panicking, you're having headache, you're having fever, you're dizzy, you have a bad breath, your skin is dry, you have muscle cramps. These are all signs that you're not taking enough water. Perhaps the best advice is to pay attention to your fluid intake and your fluid output, your moods, your energy levels, and what I can talk about is use your common sense to make sure you're getting enough water from all healthy sources. And I would also love to share with you some of the simple tactics to encourage you more fluid intake and better health. These are some of the tips that will help you to take more fluids and be healthy. Ensure that you keep an insulated water bottle at your desk, at work, or in your car, or everywhere you go. Keep that bottle full of water. That bottle will remind you every time to take water. Number 2, if you sit a lot, get up and fetch water periodically. The movement is really good for you too. Number 3, link water drinking to other routine and habits. For example, have a glass of water when you first get up in the morning and before each time you have the meal and before snacks, which will also help you to control calorie intake. And lastly, replace one daily snack, that afternoon cookie, for example, with a piece of juice or delicious fruit. You get my point. And lastly, prepare to pee. If you get enough water, you will have to let some of it out. You have to get that. And this is one of the signs that will tell you that really you have enough water, and this water will look colorless, perhaps more often as you get older, but how often you need to pee involves many factors that vary from one person to another, which I will not discuss. It's a lot of physiology that takes place there, which determines the number of times each person will go depending on the conditions, the disease condition. Some people experience like diabetes. You find that human bladder can have a range of capacities about which ranges from 1.5 to 2.5. I can say cups. We all have different normal urination frequencies based also on the body size, our physical activities, and even air temperature or humidity, because those are all factors that will determine how frequently you go to pee. You understand? While there is no medical ideal for urination frequency, the general consensus is that it is normal to pee up to 8 times in 24 hours. Waking up to pee once or twice at night, by the way, is considered normal. If you need to pee more than that at night, then you struggle to get back to sleep after a trip to the bathroom. Try getting all your water intake earlier before bed. That's what I can tell you. And stop eating and drinking about 3 hours before the bedtime. That behavior change alone will promote better sleep, which will give you more energy the next day, so that maybe, just maybe, you'll get more physical activity, which, by the way, is one of the way to curb excess peeing. I want to thank you for listening. I remain Dr. Kasango Joet, and I want to encourage you, please take enough water. We have seen how important water is. We have seen how water helps our brain to work. We have seen how water helps to clean toxins from our body. We have seen how water is important in digestion, how water is important, in our joints. We have seen that we are 55 to 60% water, in our bodies. So it will be very bad if you deprive your body water. It means you're shutting down your own body. So I really encourage our viewers to ensure they take enough water, and this will keep you healthy and younger in the long run. Thank you very much. We meet next time. Bye.